Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. It has been a minute since I have done a sit down at home and live chat. Oh shit, I forgot to change a couple of settings. Give me a moment. It's been so long I forgot how to set up settings. Hello everyone. I will get to the hellos in a second. I'm still remembering little things I have to change, like unconnecting the headphones on my computer. The last time I did a stream from home was September 30th. So it's been 5 weeks. So I'm a little rusty. Yeah, I also forgot to set up a board on my desk because like there's an edge on my desk that this cord that's connected to here that makes things go like this sometimes. I used to like put a board across there to make it even so that I wouldn't catch the edge. I don't have that set up because I haven't needed it in 5 weeks. So I'm probably going to catch that edge a few times tonight. So don't be surprised if the screen shakes a bit. Hey, Chainsaw, do you want to come on? Let me know. Hello, Sabarus. Hello, Scott. Hello, Chainsaw Reeks. Hello, Laura. Hello, Kermit. Hello, Heroes. Hello, Forward. Hello. I've got everybody else. All right. We have right off the bat, Scott's like, hey, CG, are you going to check out the Marvels this weekend? No. Also, I was curious, do you think the ending of Ahsoka sets up Ahsoka Season 2, or do you think it'll go straight into the Mandoverse movie? I hadn't thought about it. I'll be honest, Scott, and I know I've already told you this before, that show didn't, like, wow me. I didn't hate it, but I was underwhelmed enough that I can't even remember how it went now. It's only been a couple of weeks, and I sincerely don't remember it now. So I can't really answer that, to be honest. And your follow-up question, what I think is Thrawn as a villain? Okay. He wasn't, I didn't feel terrified by him. I didn't feel indifferent to him. He's just okay. I don't know what you expected out of him, but as someone that knows nothing about the character, I didn't have any like preconceived notions what he should be like, and he was fine, but he wasn't like amazing. Like if I had to rate all-time greatest villains in TV series, he's not making the list. Like, you know. Finally, the writer's strike is over. The writer's strike has been over for a couple of months now there, Kermit. In fact, I think my last stream was because the writer's strike was over. It's the actor strike that ended. How are you, Canada? How is your GeoGuessr? I am mostly okay. I was sick last week for a bit, or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when it was. Time just kind of is a morphed bubble at times. How's my GeoGuessr? Up and down. I'm on a down right now. That is mixed in with an up. I had an above average week for my season points, but my duels sucked ass, and because of that, my rating is down. So I was feeling good about things. I was feeling really good about things, and then I lost 4 or 5 games, so my rating is down the lowest it's been probably in like a month, but overall, okay. Did you see the trailer for a new Ghostbusters movie? No. I don't need to see any wannabe remakes of something. If they want me to go see a movie, make something different. Make a new movie. do something that we haven't seen already. Remakes, pure shit. Just utter garbage. So stop making them. Are you or did you watch the Marvels? No. I'm waiting for the renewal of Shadow and Bone. Don't know what that is. I know I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. The Marvels was weird. Okay. So how much do you love Supergirl? Oh, all of it. I can't ignore chainsaws above chat. He is still salty because I called him. Oh my God. We're not going to drag that into here, people. Yeah, I agree with you, stranger. Heroes, I get it. You dislike the show. I'll be honest. I wasn't a fan of it either, but it is really time to let it go. Superman and Lois is sadly ending after season 4. True. You know what? That is something I forgot to put in the title and all that. Yeah. We got that news before the strike ended. Was Superman and Lois officially is ending after season 4. If you've been out of the loop for a few days, they made the announcement a few days ago. This will be the final season, regardless how good it does. CW is done. They're just like, we quit as a TV. We want to be trash. Like. They're adding wrestling, by the way, to the CW on their main time slots. They have added wrestling starting in 2024. That's the pathway they're going down. And hey, I watched a lot of wrestling when I was younger, but that's not what you build a network around in 2023. Did I see Blue Beetle? Yes. Happy that the strikes are finally over? Yeah, so am I. Ben is making clickbait. Usually true. Usually that is true. His most recent video, he actually didn't. Okay, no, technically he did clickbait, but in the video, he spoke the truth. He did a video of like, could they get Melissa or Grant back in the final season of Superman and Lois? And the way he titled it kind of made it sound like it could happen. But in the video, he owned up to the fact it's not going to happen. And, a couple of reasons for that. I mean, obvious one is Melissa never, ever is coming back to Vancouver to work. She's moved on from being superheroes. Just deal with it, fans. And Grant's case, couple of problems with that. First off, he is going to be doing a play through the duration of the filming period. The filming period, tentatively, as of right now, is set up for January 11th to April 22nd. As of right now, that is their tentative film dates. They're the only series in Vancouver that has a tentative film date, but I expect tomorrow a whole bunch will come out, because every Friday is when the new list comes out. And I bet a bunch will be on there tomorrow, because there was a post, I think Variety or Deadline, one of them posted today, all the shows that are coming back in the next couple of weeks. And The Irrational was on that list, and it's not updated on the film list as of last week. So I expect when the film list comes out tomorrow, there'll be a date for The Irrational in late November or early December. So there'll be a bunch of announcements probably coming tomorrow, but Superman and Lois already had a date set for January 11th. Before this, they probably were looking at the negotiations going, all right, we're locking into this date. We can always move the date if we have to, but that's our tentative date right now. So yeah. But yeah, so Grant will be doing Broadway at that time. He's signed on for a Broadway play. He's doing Water for Elephants, and they will still be in rehearsals until the early part of filming, and their like premiere isn't even till I want to say probably like episode 3 of the season. And then his run will be going continually through that time. Now, could he get away? I don't think the production would be too excited about him going and taking a day job and costing him 3 days of him being the lead, possibly 4, just so he can go work one day on another side of the country. I don't realistically see that being a chance. On top of that, I don't think many people would be excited if he came back and was just playing Barry Allen. He's not going to be playing the Flash because Superman and Lois doesn't have the budget to make a new super suit, and they destroyed the old ones. So unless Grant snuck a suit out of the studio without them cataloging it being destroyed, they have no super suit to give him. He's going to be running around as Barry Allen, and no one wants that. So no, they won't be having that. Superman Legacy can give us more info about the film. Maybe. People still need to learn Superman and Lois is ending, not canceled. Some still get that confused. Well, I think, we all understand it, but the general public, they just use loose end terms. Now, there's a lot of streamers and channels that are doing it just because they like to use the clickbaity title. But even if they put ended in the title, their viewers would still, in their mind, think of it as canceled, because that's just how TV viewers think, because that's how we've been programmed to think for as long as we can. There are people out there that are if they're like, oh yeah, I remember Friends, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I was so disappointed when that got canceled. Well, it didn't get canceled, it ended. But it's just the terminology people use. It annoys me, but I've moved past expecting people to change on it, Yeah. Did you see the FNAF movie? I don't even know what that is. Are you going to watch Monarch? Probably not, just because I've never really watched much Godzilla stuff. I've maybe seen a film here, maybe there, but not in a long, long time. I didn't even see the film that they filmed here. And that was like 10 years ago, something like that. So probably not. I might watch it if my video suddenly starts getting a whole bunch of traction and they're talking about doing a season 2 and all that. I might watch it just so I know what's going on. Like, I'm going to have to watch The Last of Us at some point so that I know what's going on, because they're moving that to here for season 2. But as of right now, probably won't watch it. It's just not in my my wheelhouse of things I would sit down and care to watch. I don't hate it. I don't see me sitting down wanting to watch it. Think Flash could be in season 4? I just answered that, Scott. Sorry. Grant is never coming back as the Flash. There's nothing I can do. Correct. The Flash movie was awful. No, it wasn't. I mean, it was not good, but it's not awful. I would sit down and watch that movie for free. And there's a lot of movies I would not sit down and watch for free. So, Did you see Gen V? It has big implications on the world of The Boys. Oh, does it? Okay, I might have to check that out. I wanted to watch it, but just again, I kind of suck at keeping up on things. So I might someday get around to it, but I probably won't. Where was I? Flash season 9 sucks. I mean, it wasn't great, We've had enough time to sit and let season 9. We've had enough time to come to our conclusions on it now. Do I think it was good? Not really. Do I think it was bad? Not really. It had some hiccups in the way that were causing it probably not to be as good as it should have been. Some of that, 100%, goes on Eric Wallace's showrunner. Some of that goes to just bad luck, bad timing. There's things Eric Wallace did, like Cecile, that brought the quality over all of the show down. We can't argue that. There are other things that were out of their control, like Grant getting COVID in the final week of filming. So sometimes things are just out of their control, right? They can't they can't get around those problems. Um, Zod and Supergirl were the only good thing about the movie. It's officially the only Marvel movie that's coming out in 2024 is Deadpool 4. All the others are being pushed back to 2025. Wait, Deadpool 4 is coming out before Deadpool 3? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna assume you meant 3, but it says 4. It says 4 right there. Where was I? Heads up, 35 minutes. I gotta go watch Loki. I'm sorry? I never watched Loki season 1 because the trailer for it didn't look good. I know a lot of people thought it was great and all that, but I'm not gonna go watch. I'm not gonna start watching it now. Like, I just don't care. Have you seen Loki season 2? Well, I just answered that. I'm so disappointed that Nicole chose to have days off for Yellow Jackets just to film The Flash. Well, she didn't choose those days off. Those would have been days off that she would have got her schedule for Yellow Jackets, told The Flash to be like, these are days I can work around if you can work with it. And they're like, we can do that, you know. Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. Yeah, that was a few days ago now, but I guess I haven't been on in a while, so you haven't had really a chance to say that. Yeah, it's a bit of a shocker. I was in a live stream watching someone's live stream when someone came in and said that. I'm like, no way. And I had to go to Twitter, and it's maybe only the 3rd or 4th time ever that I've seen someone say something in a stream about a breaking news event like that, where they were actually truthful, you know? Yeah, it was a shocker. Five Night at Freddy, the movie based on the games. I don't even know the games, dude. I keep hearing that title. I've heard it a lot the last couple of weeks, but it means nothing to me. Literally means nothing to me. I've been watching Smallville. I'm so sorry. I'm not a fan of Smallville, but that said, I've never watched Smallville. I'm just not a fan of it because Tom Welling and Kristen Kruk and Allison Mack are just terrible people, you know. But if you enjoy it, that's good. Do you like the Star Wars sequel trilogy? Can you tell me what that means, man? Because I can't say I have a wrap on what every single Star Wars thing means. Ryan Reynolds has a new commercial with Grant Gustin. Well, new is like a week ago, but I know what you mean. Yeah. It kind of was dumb, except for the very last line they had each. The last 3 seconds of it was pretty funny. The rest of it was dumb. Season 9, episode 10 is the best episode of the entire show, in my opinion. Eric Wallace wrote it. Yeah. I wouldn't say the entire show, but I'll put it in the top 10 of the series for sure. You know, you have a point, CG. I always have a point. Episode 9 and 10 of season Flash is the only thing I will watch. Fair enough. You're allowed to do that. I meant Deadpool 3. All right, fine. I'll let you off with this one. Shazam 2 is underrated. I never saw it, you know. I loved Shazam 1 too, and for some reason I just never got around to seeing 2. I don't know. I think it just came at a time where I wasn't going out and seeing things, and then by the time maybe I was interested in it, it had already been pushed out of the theater. Yeah. You said Dreamer was wasted a few months ago. Yeah. She was. That was a terrible episode. They were in the middle of like a 3-arc episode of bad episodes. Yeah. I didn't like the episode at all. And yeah. Would you say Superman Lois season 3 is the weakest season? No. Season 2, Allie Allenberger or whatever her name was, is the weakest. Like, that villain just is not a villain. Any 2024, 25 movies you excited for? Probably. I mean, sure. I just don't know what they are yet. Did you see most of the DCEU movies are on Netflix now? Really? Really? What, you're talking like Justice League type movies, like Man of Steel and stuff like that? Or are you talking something else that I'm not picking up on? In either case, I'm surprised they're not on HBO Max. Oh, the Ray and Kylo years. They're okay. Yeah, sure. Um, Even the Batman is on Netflix. Crazy. Why does HBO Max exist? Is HBO Max just like a large punked game show that they're running where they're like, how long can we keep people paying us for this service? That's crazy. WB desperately need the licensing money. So I'm going to give you a little funny story, guys. We're going to go off track here for a minute. So anything after 5:33 p.m., anything after this comment in the thread, it might be a few minutes before I get to your comment. So while I was at the Flash wardrobe sale, I was talking to someone that used to work for several of the shows in the Arrowverse. They were telling me a couple of stories about Warner Brothers and how they were trying to find ways. This was as recently as not the season that just ended, but I think the season before. I might be wrong on which season it is. Could have even been this season. I could be wrong. They were trying to find ways to write off losses. One of the ways they found to write losses off was they had one of their crew members, I don't know what part of the crew she's in, they had one of the crew members roll pennies together from a jar of pennies that they had. They got a total of $300 in pennies. That crew member's day's wages was $700+. So they lost $400 on that time they made her sit there and roll those pennies. But they were fine with that because they were looking to lose money. They were looking for ways to write off money. They were looking for things that they could be like, we didn't make any money off this. It's a crime syndicate at this point. They told me a couple other crazy stories, but I can't remember them well enough now that I don't want to like muddy it and inaccurately say it, but I remember that one vividly as possible. There was a couple other crazy ones that they're just like, we had to do this to get rid of these things that could have been repurposed, whatever. Yeah. I now know with certainty, with the exception of a couple of things that accidentally slipped through the cracks here or there, because like I even ended up with a couple. Anything that had the Star Labs or Jitters logo on it was to be destroyed. Did not matter if it was a sticker, they had to destroy it. All the cups were supposed to be destroyed. All the shirts were supposed to be destroyed. Anything large that had the logo on it, destroyed. Same with any of the super suits, including Barry's. All were destroyed. And my first thought on that is like, why wouldn't they keep that in the archives? In case they need it 10 years down the road when he does a John Wesley Shipp on the next Flash series. I don't know. I guess that's next Flash's problem. It's up to them to decide if they rebuild his suit. Eric Wallace wanted them to be destroyed. Eric Wallace isn't the owner of Warner Brothers. This was a Warner Brothers decision, not a Flash production decision. They don't make those type of decisions. Same thing also happened with shows like Supergirl and Legends and Arrow. A lot of stuff from there was destroyed too. Not to the extent of Flash. Not with the same level as the Flash, but they did it. So they destroyed all the Arrowverse super suits. Well, all the Flash ones. I don't know about other shows. You saw the Dreamer suit at WB Museum. Okay. Okay. They probably took one, because they have 7 to 10 of those things, right? Like, they don't just make one super suit, because what if that one gets destroyed? Then it's going to take them weeks to make another one. So they make a whole bunch at once in case one gets ruined or one, gets a snag in it and they can't use it for a couple of days while it's fixed. So they don't make just one. So the Dreamer suit you see in the museum probably was like one of the ones they made, and they're like, oh, we never use this one, you know. So they just moved that on and gave it to WB to put up. Just like there's an Oliver Queen one at the WB WB headquarters or something like that, and like they made probably 40 of those over the years. You think 10 for each time he changed suits, right? So yeah. But anyways, that was the short story made longer than it probably should have been. Back to where was I? This one, right? Okay. All Batman movies are terrible? No, not at all. Aaron Fisher is going off on David Zaslav and James Gunn. No idea who that is. I think Superman Lois ending is because Superman Legacy is coming out. No, I think it's because the CW wants out of the superhero game. I can see HBO Max. 3 years. I would give it 3 years. I don't think they're going to do one right on top of one that just ended. I can see them in 3 years rebooting a Superman show. Maybe 5. The whole Snyder versus now on Netflix. Yes. Oh, okay. Which is leading people to believe Netflix owns that property now, which is so far from the truth. Right. Yeah. They don't own it. They own the streaming rights in whatever countries they're allowed to stream it in. Why can't James Gunn have Man of Steel 2 be an Elseworlds? I don't know. Eric Wall. Okay, I read that. Do they have the files on how and what to use to rebuild the suits? I don't know. I think whoever built them could probably put it together with minimal effort. Like they would probably have the basic understandings of what to do and what type of fabric was used and all that. It's just like anything else in the thing. Again, I was talking to, there was multiple crew members there that day, but another one of the ones I was talking to was telling me they used to be on Arrow making the, you know, the little small arrows that are like that big that like he would have on the side of his pants or whatever, or the side of his shoulder, those little things. It was their job to make those. And they were like, yeah, I've got lots of those because I made them. So there's people like that out there that they made that design. That is things they have the knowledge how to make. So whoever made the super suit, in theory, could make another one if studio down the road came in and was like, we need a new one. But yeah. Why destroy them? Why not keep them hidden in a vault? I think it again comes down to the scam of trying to lose money on stuff. It also putting them in a vault isn't just a magic thing. Like you have to pay for that space. You're paying for storage space for a thing you may never ever use again. I remember Columbia Pictures. This was back, I think, in the 90s, maybe even 80s now. They eventually, at one point, they had the equivalent of like 10 city blocks of storage from things from all of their movies going back 60 plus years. They wanted to get rid of it. I can't remember who it is. Some actress or actress's husband or wife or something like that got the idea. They're like, don't throw it out. Give me a little time to sort through it, and I'm gonna use it for some things. So they did, and they created like a studio of pieces from film history, and then the rest of it, Columbia decided to just sell off on auction sites, or not auction sites, but auction houses, for pennies on the dollar compared to what they probably were worth if they had sold them at an earlier time. So Warner Brothers doesn't want to just sit there and have this stuff rot to death and 40 years down the line being like, oh, people want this? Cool, but we could have got 10 times more of it when it was popular. It costs money to house those things. You need a storage space large enough for all of those things because it's not just a Flash suit. You then have to keep all of the different Flash character suits. You then have to keep the Arrowverse suits. You then have to keep what other DC shows there are? Gotham. You have to keep all of these other shows together, times that by dozens of pieces each, times that by however many different designs some of those characters had. You're talking like an apartment building just for those shows. Hey, I think I'm gonna like maybe see what is going on. There's something going on my screen. I can't seem to figure out what this is. I'm gonna just roll the dice and see who this is. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome to the show. You're a first-time caller, I guess?
I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
It makes sense.
How you doing,
Well,
guys? We have Chainsaw Reacts here. He's right there. Oh,
that's me.
So, how are you feeling about the strike?
Love it. Well, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Finally. Jesus. Yeah. By the way, I had to tell you this because she said I had to say I left my wife for you. So, yeah, she's like, you're just let him know.
Shelby, if you're listening, I'm doing you a favor.
We are seeing Metallica tomorrow and Sunday, so she'll have plenty to do with over the weekend.
She'll get to see you at your worst.
Yes.
All right, yeah. So I was just telling people about the chaos that is how Warner Brothers was finding ways to write off money. I don't know if I said this to you before. I know a couple people I talked to, but like they were so petty about trying to find ways to lose money. They had a woman in the staff in the office roll pennies for them from a jar of pennies they had all day. The total was $300 worth of pennies.
Jesus.
It cost them over $700 for her time. But they were okay with it because they're just like, the point is to find a way to lose money.
Jesus Christ. That is ridiculous.
This company at this point is just a scheme, a scam.
I didn't realize they could still shelve movies and get tax write-off. I thought that was
of course they can. Yeah.
See, they earned $30 million from that, from shelving that Coyote versus Acme movie.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they have the right to do it, so there's not a lot any of us can ever do about it. You know,
it's their property, right? They paid.
Yeah.
It's like that company paid to make it. So
it's like those people back in the 90s and early 2000s. There was rich people who were rich enough they would buy like houses or apartment buildings that were like status symbols of towns and just tear them down because they had a pettiness over whatever it meant. They own it. They're allowed to tear it down.
Yeah, it's their problem.
Yeah, it's stupid, but it is.
It is dumb, but oh well.
Yeah.
This is a weird looking council of creators. There's usually more people here.
The rest of them are running late. I heard they missed the bus or something.
They all missed the same bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's perpetually late. You think Superman and Lois ending is because Superman Legacy is coming out? No. Like I said earlier, I think that is just a CW thing. I mean, we might see them reboot it in like 3 to 5 years, but right now, no.
No, it's just they're not gonna, they don't want to spend more money on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as it is, they're cutting down the budget to the point that they're getting rid of half of the writers now.
Yeah.
So
they literally probably didn't want to do a 4th season. Probably. So
I think, yeah, because there was a wording back when CW got sold. There was wording in one of the announcements about it. And it caught my attention because it essentially said CW is committed to programming that it is already obligated to run, which I took as any shows that have a contract with them for X amount of years, they have to keep running.
Yep.
And that is where, season 4 just happened to be the end of the contract, I guess, or Superman and Lois. I don't know if they've said anything on the likes of Walker or All American or any of those other shows yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of those are in the same boat soon.
Well, same thing with like when Disney bought out Fox, all those existing contracts Fox had, Disney had to take and keep. Like they couldn't just like get rid of those contracts, so it's probably the same thing here. Yeah, you could you could buy us, but there's certain stuff you can't just throw away. Like we have a contract in place to a certain time frame, or like I said, a certain season. So yeah, they're kind of stuck. Like there was stuff they could get rid of, but not everything.
Yeah, exactly. Kermit says Grant has the gold boots. Where did you see that, Kermit? Because I remember Grant vividly saying the only thing he has is one of the rings.
Oh.
If you've got a different thing on that, Kermit, feel free to let me know and I'll look at it.
Yeah,
but I remember him vividly saying he has one of the rings, and that was it.
Yeah, what's your inside source?
I saw Batman is on a free channel called Tubi.
Oh.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a free streaming service. You don't have to pay anything for it. You have to watch ads though. So it's
like watching television.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can watch on there. The problem is there is no option to pay, so you don't have to watch ads. You can just watch whatever. You have to watch ads.
I mean, that's not the worst thing, because at the end of the day, I mean, if everything's at the same tier, then whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out, because I don't mind sitting through ads. I'll find something to do for 2 minutes while the ads are running. It's the same as, I lived through the generation where we didn't have internet, so I'm used to ads,
Yeah. I love my no ads.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm so used to ads in my life. I just accept them. The only thing that does piss me off is when I get ads for things I hate and I can't click off them. That's the only ones that piss me off. Why did the quality of the writing go down so much from the quality of Flash seasons 1 to 4? A few reasons, honestly, Scott. A lot of that comes down to the budget and to just people get promoted and then people also just move on. I know I use this analogy a lot, and I realize a lot of superhero comic book fans don't necessarily understand the analogy because it's not in their thing, but think of it as a sports team. For Flash season 1 to 4, they had the cream of the crop on that team. Now, you cannot keep the best team together forever. You just can't. Eventually, players get older, players get injured, some players want to move away. Whatever the reason, players start to leave. Yet, fill that in with new pieces, usually cheap, younger guys to fill the roster. Basically, that's what they did. They had the core that started it off. Then as some of those guys got too big for the show, because we're still talking CW money here. If you're the best writer on The Flash, you're the best writer The Flash has. You absolutely have options for better paying jobs. And The Flash eventually can't pay you that money.
Nope.
It's just a reality. So The Flash eventually has to let that best guy leave, and then the second best guy moves up to his spot, assuming he also doesn't leave. And then everyone else has to move up line, which means you're filling those bottom spots with new people that aren't that proven, aren't as solid. Yeah, CW is low on the totem pole for writers.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, too, with them cutting the budget pretty much each season for the most part, you're going to try to relegate that to the screen, not so much behind the scenes. So,
yeah. Thanks, Heroes. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. I knew what it was in my head. I knew it started with an F, but I couldn't remember it. I watch Warner Brothers market value from time to time. Right now, it's at 22.7 billion, and it keeps dropping. Not too surprised to hear that, to be honest. I haven't kept up with it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I remember for a while, right after the merger and all that stuff, I kept up with their stock ticker frequently, and it was often going down. What are we at to now? Let's see.
Stock.
$9.64, which is down from whenever I looked at it last, because the last time I looked, it was 10 something or 11 something. So it's still even down from that. Now let's look at 6 months ago. 6 months ago, it was 1304. And it's now at 964. It's lost 26% of its value in 6 months.
My God. That's not good.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not surprised.
Not my problem. I'll have to worry about
it. Hi for the Caitlin dress. Can't wait for it to come whenever you get the chance to mail it. Thanks for contacting me too, Jade. You are so far the only person actually through YouTube that's contacted me about one of the items. For those of you that have no idea what this is about, as I was saying, I went to the flash sale. I picked up almost 50 items between the 2 weeks I went there from the flash sale. Bunch of different Barry shirts, a couple other things, some more interesting jackets and stuff. Jade bought one of the Caitlin dresses that is from season 1. But yeah, I have done very well with that. I've actually been very pleased with the turnout I've had on that. Like I said, I bought just about 50 items. I think there was 49 when I counted it. I've only sold like 12 or 14 of them, but I've made like $400 off it already, like profit. And I still got 30 plus items to sell. So I've done okay. Yeah. Later, I will show some of those items probably. A couple of them are interesting. Most of the interesting ones have been mailed out already. Like I had Constantine's jacket, had a pair of Barry shoes. I had Iris's pilot episode jacket, a couple of things like that, but those have already been mailed. We have a lot of hellos to Chainsaw in the chat. This. So some people noticed you're here.
I don't know how. You can't see me. I'm not actually.
Wait, are you going to see it?
I didn't want to spoil it, but I didn't want to spoil it for you. I'm sorry.
Could you invite Lance on the stream? Well, he's not here. I can't invite him if he's not here.
Who the fuck is Lance? Who's that?
I think he means Quentin Lance.
Oh, he's dead. But he got brought back.
Yeah. But season 1 Laurel didn't. Because her story was done. Her story was done.
Somebody jokingly came into I think it was Lance's stream and said whatever was like chatting, was like, hey, and it says, and the name was Googie. I'm like, that's not Mark Guggenheim, and then it's like, that's not Mark Guggenheim. Like if it was, get him in here. We gotta.
I'm mostly confident it wasn't Mark Guggenheim.
I'm gonna assume because it said
this much doubt that it could be. This much doubt it could be, but I'm mostly confident.
Look, if Mark Guggenheim wants to chat,
he's invited to come on here anytime he wants. I will gladly debate with him the fictional reality he lives in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I will 100% credit him for the things he's done that were good. Like he gave us Crisis on Infinite Earths. He was a main player in making that happen. But there's a lot of things he needs to live up to that he was wrong about, including with me.
Yeah, just Mark, just admit that you just looked at fucking Tumblr and took that as part of your inspiration. Just be realistic, man.
I'm so much more respectful of people that, looking back, they're like, I really made a mistake following this thing or doing this thing. I mean, everybody's had mistakes they've made, just own it.
Yeah, and then he tripled down with his like blogs and shit about it was a waste of time, and he won't just, it's like you didn't have to make that because he's like, all butthurt. I didn't get a. All he did in doing that was brought more attention to the fact that he is a whiny little bitch. Like,
Until then, the only people that knew that were the people that read his Twitter on a daily basis. But then he made that post, made the circles, made it into different entertainment blogs, and everyone's like, this guy's such a whiner.
And then now it's like why would a studio hire him?
Yeah.
Because at some point he could just say it again. Working on that show for 3 years, that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because he
why would you ever consider phoning this guy even for an interview? Because you're just wasting your own time.
James and Peter Safran don't want to bring in people that worked on previous stuff for the most part on DC. They want they want new people. They want a new approach. And I
mean, there might be a point. There might even be a point. Like, say, 6 years down the road, things are going okay, but they're kind of in a spot where they're like, we don't know what to do. Maybe they reach out then for some people from the past to get some ideas. But he's not going to be on that list anymore.
No. They'll more likely reach out to what's his name? Above Mark. He was the guy. He's been the producer for all these shows. I forget his name.
Yeah, I'm driving me nuts. Berlanti.
Yeah, they'll reach out to Greg because he was like behind all of that shit.
Yeah.
So they'll reach out to him first because Warner Bros. Actually had a contract and more of a deal with him over the years than Mark. Mark was just a hired hand who came in. And then he's done.
He was the same as Beth Schwartz or whoever else they brought in.
They'd probably go to Beth first before Mark at this point.
Probably. Did I watch the trailer for Inside Out 2? No, I didn't even know that was a movie till literally sometime this afternoon. Like, I just heard about it today.
Yeah, I forgot about it until that trailer dropped. Like,
Inside Out was a good movie. Like, I remember that movie. That was a good movie, but I don't know if I want to watch a second one. I wish sometimes they would just like leave things as singular movies. I get it, made you a bunch of money. You don't need a second.
Not everything needs to be a franchise.
Yeah. I mean, some do. I think superhero movies is a thing where you have to write into your movie the idea it might be a franchise. You have to consider that. But a cartoon movie doesn't need a follow-up movie.
No.
You know?
Well, I guess it depends on like what your story is and if there is places to go, but I guess for the Inside Out, it's like, there's new emotions.
Yeah, like I personally felt Inside Out wrapped its story up. I don't know. Did you ever see it?
No, never. Seen
it.
I hear it's good.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I personally feel at the end of that movie, they wrapped the story up. I don't know how there's a second one. I mean, I guess I could understand it because the lead character was a young girl, and I can guess, like, you know, once she moved from like child to teen, now she's moving from teen to like 20-something, and new, you know, emotions probably exist. But after the first one, she should understand that she went through all this chaos and be able to be like, oh, this is what's happening. Let's not do that again. Like, it should be a 6-minute movie. What with most Superman shows having 4 seasons? I don't know. Smallville had 4 and 4 and 3, or no, 4, 4 and 2.
4, 2. Yeah. 10. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how many seasons the animated Superman show had. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, and didn't watch any animated Supermans except for way back in the day when they did the cartoon one with the Justice League or whatever it was.
Well, Justice League, I think Unlimited, it was 2 seasons. I think the animated Justice League, the first one was 2 as well, I think, or 3. I don't know.
I don't remember the name of the one I watched.
I don't know. There's so much stuff. There's too much.
Yeah. I watched the one that Gleek was in, whichever version that was.
Gleek. Oh, that sounds like
the monkey. Yeah, the monkey for the Wonder Twins.
Oh yeah, that's old. That's older.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Oh,
so I said I don't generally watch them. Some reactions were worried about seeing the Marvel's movie that were offering alcohol to screening. Huh?
What? I don't think that's real. Unless you're going to a theater that offers alcohol, that they sell alcohol. I don't know about offering it for free because you're going to go see the Marvels. Unless it was like a deal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a promotional deal. There are theaters. I don't know how many. I don't know what it's like in where you are. But here we have theaters where you have to be 18 plus to go in because they will serve alcohol. So I don't know if that's what she was trying to say. But Super Friends, yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's not really a thing here. I mean, there are places obviously different, like depending on the theater, they'll sell alcohol, but yeah, I mean, you're fine to go in. It's just, I think they also put a limit. Like you can only order one. You can't go and just keep ordering.
Oh yeah. Like you can't every 7 minutes be like, bring me another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's probably a limit at tops, probably 2. You know. Did you see the Avatar: Last Airbender live action Netflix trailer? No, never seen any Avatar stuff ever.
So good. It's so I really loved it. It's.
Oh, there you go. You have the seal of approval from Chainsaw.
It looks awesome. I'm still cautious though, but we'll see.
So, have you watched much of the older Last Airbender Avatar stuff?
Yeah, I reacted to it. Probably sooner than I should have on the channel, but I went through the whole entire series. Love it to death. It's one of the best animated shows I've ever seen, and I'm cautious, but it looks really good. This live action. The original creators were on it, and then they exited due to creative differences.
Ooh.
So that's making me kind of worried. But that trailer, it looks good. It looks like they actually got it right. At least the look of it looks right. I'll just say that. I don't know how the story's gonna go, but the characters look right. So
what is this? Why?
What song do you want me to sing, Kermit? Sing you a song.
I want to hear you do Enter Sandman and sound like James.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Yeah.
I don't need a copyright claim on that. Okay, yeah. You know what is a shame? I accidentally muted him, I think. Oh no. Chainsaw, say yeah, you're okay if you're okay.
I heard the Diamonds by Rihanna. Diamonds. I'm not singing.
What's that?
This is Diamonds by Rihanna. Can you sing in the Bane voice? I can't sing in the Bane voice.
I mean, can Bane sing in the Bane voice? I don't know. He can talk. But have we ever actually heard Bane sing?
Exit light.
Yeah, we don't need that.
See, it doesn't work. I bet Tom Hardy could make that voice sing, but no. Too much.
So what do you, besides obviously Superman and Lois, what are you excited to see get working again?
Deadpool 3, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Deadpool 3. Other than that, I mean, I'm just excited to to see like how they're going to figure this out. As we were talking last night on Council, like it's going to be a shit show for the next couple of months. How the hell they're going to get all this scheduled out? So that's going to be the question, Yeah.
So we did touch on that last night. I think I brought it up too. So a lot of you in chat probably are thinking like, oh, all these announcements that were made 8 months, 10 months, 12 months ago on casting announcements for things coming up. Some of those are going to change right now. The reason why is, let's say Chainsaw is, supposed to be filming for the next Harry Potter movie, but he also signed on to do the next Superman movie. Now, he was originally going to be filming the Harry Potter movie in February, the Superman movie in July, and would have had plenty of time to do both of them. But we've been off for a while. Now, both of these movies are coming back, and they're both going to be starting in March at the same date. He can't do both. Nope. So he's going to have to give up one of those jobs, and someone else is going to get one of those jobs. And this is going to happen with a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of things where people are all of a sudden going to exit because they had to, because they have something else that they're contractually obligated to first. And a lot of things are going to shuffle. And then there's also just going to be the just swarm of signings that are going to happen every couple of days. There's going to be like, so-and-so got attached to this project. So-and-so got attached to this project. You're going to be in a stream someone's going to say to you, like, 2 weeks later, they're going to be like, I'm really excited to see so-and-so on this project. And be like, oh, when was that announced? It'll be like 2 weeks ago. And you're like, I never heard about it because so many other things happened, you know?
Yeah, that's going to be the problem. And also, too, the studios are going to be fighting over, like, because a lot of times studios, like, they plan out ahead of time when they're going to be in a certain location, when they're going to be in, you know, like, you know, studios are going to be, like, struggling to find, like, time to get actors, first of all, and then actual locations if they actually go shoot somewhere. Because now they're going to be scrambling to go, okay, so instead of us having this planned out, they're all jumping all over the place. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. But
you know, it's really funny. I don't think it was for anything large because I don't think any of them have started that planning yet. Although maybe like the Irrational would have. I was at the mall today and I saw a what do they call it? Scouting crew in the mall for a film unit. Like I've seen them so many times. I know what they look like now. I saw one in the mall and I haven't seen one of those in probably 10 months. And then all of a sudden today I'm walking through the mall the day after the strike has ended and there's one in the mall.
That's funny.
I'm like, they spent no time. They were like, last night when the strike was agreed upon to end, they got a call from whoever the producer was, be like, I need you tomorrow morning to start going out and looking for things.
It's just crazy how things change around Fest. Like you were saying last night, like how they already had a tentative, hopefully not moved, start date for Superman and Lois. So it's like,
yeah,
they were already like they were preparing. So
yeah,
you know, and it's crazy how fast, because like literally the strike ended last night. There's already actors immediately posting on social media about stuff, like getting right to it.
Yeah. Because now they can actually talk about things, right?
Yeah,
and you're going to see a lot of that. You're gonna, you know what? It's got to suck if you're on a project that you really like. Let's take a perfect example like Blue Beetle. Like they couldn't talk about any of that, but we know a lot of the actors in that were really passionate about the project because of the storyline and all that. They never got to promote it, but they could promote it now. But they'd be promoting it to nothing.
Yeah,
they'd be promoting it to the occasional streamer.
And now it was reported earlier that Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston are be on the Tonight Show tomorrow to promote the Marvels.
Oh God, already?
Yeah, they're already going. Like, so they're already immediately. They might have already filmed it today. They might have already filmed it today because they're trying to get some sort of promotion. Well, Loki had no promotion from its cast when it released, and of course the Marvels, it's out now. People can go watch it.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to get people out. They're trying to get out. And I said, like, they're probably gonna get the Trinity of them sometime next week for the Marvels. No, they're getting Brie immediately on the date, like officially releases to be able to see the show. So they're not wasting. They're trying to rush.
That doesn't honestly surprise me at all. Like they probably, like there would have been behind the doors, like agreements with your bigger name people that are like, if this strike ends at any time during our promotion window, you're expected to start working tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure they're like, all right, because they got paid a lot of money to be in those projects. So
yeah, but at the same time, say you are Brie Larson and you've been like dawdling around at home, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm not working right now. I'm gonna go like take a trip to Bali for 4 weeks. You're now in Bali, and they're like, we need you in LA tomorrow morning. Like, I'm sure that's probably happened, but there was probably a few actors were off somewhere weird and random. They got the call. They're like, strike's over. And they're like, what's that mean for me? They're like, well, you got an interview tomorrow in New York. And they're like, but I'm on a different continent.
Not our problem. Get back here.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he kind of deserves the nagging, but I also think it's probably a little unfair. I wouldn't be surprised to like hear a story of that about a certain former Arrow lead actor like being somewhere random, getting the call and being like, I can't make it there.
Well, someone did say Carmen's like Hills got canceled. Yeah, we know.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Well, I mean, he can still promote it if he likes.
For what purpose?
His own ego. I think
we had jokingly said, like, Oh, like, oh, he can promote this now, but he was scabbing the other thing before.
Yeah.
Because he could probably promote Code 8 Part 2. But,
That's what it was. Yeah, Code 8 Part 2, yes.
Yeah, I doubt he wants to, because, he's like, I want to scab up
Do you know what's really interesting? No, Code 8 was a Netflix show, wasn't it?
Well, it was a movie.
Yeah, but you know what I meant. Like, it was a Netflix property. I was going to say, what would have been really funny is if Code 8 was one of those independent projects that's not under the struck agreement.
And
he could have promoted it.
He would somehow shoehorn Hills into there, though, somehow. He would, like, get interviewed. So how's it working with your cousin? Well, we were doing this scene. I hurt my heel, both my heels. It's like,
we were wrestling around, and my heels went backwards, and
we started talking trash in the middle of a ring. I mean, during the scene, I won the championship belt. I mean, I won I won the wrestling match. I mean, I just keeps.
Yeah, you could definitely see that. Devastated to hear this news. Are you?
I cried.
I didn't even know there was one.
Well, they canceled it on a gigantic cliffhanger. Typical.
Oh no.
Typical fucking studio. Yeah, man, it was like the biggest cliffhanger the show could do, and they fucking canceled. Oops.
Did we find out that she's not really Carly?
No, they were gonna reveal her mother finally after all these years, because they've never talked about the mom. And then you don't see her, but the mom is off camera, and they're like, "Mom," and then it cuts, and that's the ending of season 3. And like, no more season 4. That is a kick in the balls to anybody who loves that. I like iCarly. I grew up watching iCarly. I saw the revival a little bit with my wife, but it's whatever. But that is a kick in the balls to anybody who loves that show.
That's insane, man.
Because they never referenced the mom except for a handful of times in the original show, and then all these fans were like, "Mom," and then it got canceled. So, yeah, don't trust.
Honestly,
studios. Don't trust studios.
Yeah, in the last decade, it has gotten 5 times worse. You can't rely on them to complete your story.
Mm-hmm.
You should always go into every season assuming you only got one season.
They literally should have introduced the mom in season 3. That's what they should have done, but they waited till the very last second, and you don't even show who it is. I think that would have made it worse if they would have cast somebody, some big name or something like, "Ooh, the mom," and then you see her, and then boom, it goes to credits. Done. I don't know who's Ben. Oh, Ben, the DC TV show. Is that who he's referring to? Kermit?
I have no idea. I'm
guessing that's only Ben I know. Unless they're talking about Ben Affleck. I mean, Ben Affleck's.
Ben Affleck. Yeah. Ben Affleck. I mean, if he asked, I would consider letting him in here.
Consider,
Yeah,
I get it. Who wants that nonsense?
Yeah.
He wants to deal with the.
I mean, if he could bring in another Batman with him, I'd be like, okay, I'll allow it. But
he's sitting there, and like next to him is Robert Pattinson. I know it's that Christian Bale. They're all just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. I'll even accept like Clooney. Like you just have to bring more than just you, Ben.
Clooney would just apologize for fucking up Batman twice because he was in the Flash. He's like, I'm so sorry. That's funny.
So yeah, now they can start promoting the Flash. Oh wait, no, it's already gone by. They can start promoting Blue Beat. No, wait. Shazam 2. Wait, no. I've run out of projects they can promote.
Well, they're going to promote Aquaman 2, but it won't matter.
No, it won't. What's insane is that was $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the new one will make $400 million.
If it makes $400 million, that's going to be a shock. Like, what? Yeah. It won't. Probably not. No.
I mean, it could if it hits a spot where there's a lull in superhero content.
Yeah,
it could. But I mean, everything's the marketplace for movies is just so tight that your window is really like 2 weeks.
Well, because the opening of the first one wasn't that strong here, and then international just blew up. But I don't know. Yeah. I think literally COVID, the pandemic, and streaming changed everything. Because when we were all shut down, streaming blew up. Like so many more people who had never streamed before or hardly ever touched streaming services were instantly ingrained and using it on a daily basis. And it's like that changed everything, because now I didn't even think about this much, but literally last night I was scrolling through Netflix and I'm realizing there's a lot of movies and TV shows added on there that I didn't know were on there now. And I'm like, wow, they stepped their game up in terms of content. I'm seeing a lot of new stuff here that I know I've seen a lot of this stuff, but it's readily available now. Anybody who has Netflix to go watch all these good movies and shit. And I'm like,
it's interesting because there was several years there where Netflix was getting picked apart by everybody taking their content back.
And now they have content. Like apparently they have a lot of Warner Brothers stuff. They have a lot of Sony stuff on there. So a lot of
someone in chat was saying this earlier, that a lot of the DCEU movies ended up back there.
Yeah, like so Netflix is starting to turn around a little bit where it's actually getting some stuff back, because streaming services are realizing we're not making money.
Yep.
So we need to start selling and licensing our stuff out.
I said this several years ago when they first started coming up with other streaming services. Like, just sell your stuff to Netflix, man. They know what they're doing. Everyone will go to one spot to see it. You'll make your money. You won't have to put out the headache of building your own brand and all that stuff. Just take the 60% profit instead of the 100% you think you can get, and just take the sure thing. Because if you go for the 100% and you fail, you're in the toilet.
Those licensing fees really add up over time. That's why Warner Brothers is like really like, that's why they were like, okay, well, we're gonna start looking at lesser, like really like lesser cost effective HBO shows to go to Netflix licensed out. They're not going to give them Game of Thrones, but they gave them some HBO content that should never leave the Max program, but they are, because now they're on Netflix. It's really weird how things have shifted. And now Disney's even thinking, not like Star Wars or Marvel, but they're thinking of their lesser content. They're looking to license to Netflix to make some money back. It's changing.
If I were the HBO, Warner Brothers, whatever, the way I would have ran things is I'll have a streaming service, but only for my active content. So whatever is aired within the last 12 months stays there. As soon as it's been retired for 12 months, it can go to Netflix. And that way, you can keep the exclusivity of the hottest time for it, but still make something off it down the road. Because it's sitting on HBO Max. The only people that are going to see it are the people that have already watched it because they've got HBO Max. You're not creating new subscribers off of content that's a year old.
Exactly.
Sell it to Netflix. Netflix gets the boost, and then your product gets in front of more eyes, and more eyes are like, oh, there's this product from Warner Brothers. I wonder what else they have.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I will tell you right now, I would personally, if all those studios got together and decided 1 year cap on our projects, then we can move it to one central place where people can find everything, aka Netflix. I'll happily pay like $50 for Netflix because I won't have to buy 12 different streaming services.
Yeah, you would save a lot of money. Well, I mean, like as Laura said, like Sony is the only smart studio, really, like high caliber studio, because they don't have a streaming service. All they do is they make content, and then they basically say, okay, who wants it, and they bid for it. I mean, Sony's the one that they want, like, hey, we're gonna make a God of War show. Amazon Prime's like, we're gonna give you a ton of money for that. Hey, we're gonna make a Horizon Zero Dawn show. Oh, Netflix, we want that. We're gonna pay high dollar for that. And Sony and Netflix have that deal where a lot of their theatrical films go to Netflix after a certain point. Like they get all the Spider-Man, they get any new Sony releases it goes to Netflix. It's a smart business because Sony doesn't have to sit there and deal with the headache of a streaming service. It's just Netflix, whoever else, give us money. We don't care. Yeah. And obviously with Disney, they're working with the whole Spider-Man collab, so they're just making money. They're not having to worry about all this shit. And I bet Disney's kind of regretting the Disney Plus angle because it ain't making them money. They lost like $300-something million this past quarter. So,
what?
Yeah, they made almost 400. They lost in this last quarter. Disney Plus is not doing
What?
like these. Well, all streaming services ain't doing well,
Yeah,
so they're losing
but
money.
for when you think of the Disney brand, you assume it's not going to fail that bad.
Well, they're probably making their money back on the parks, but they're strict. But just Disney Plus as a strict thing, nothing else
Right? Yeah.
included. It's losing money. But then again, they put billions into it, and then they're about to spend almost $9 billion buying out Hulu. So I don't know. There must be a.
Do you have you ever used Hulu?
A little bit? Yeah, I've used it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, like here in Canada, I don't know if it's changed. I know as of like 4 years ago, it was still the case. You can't get Hulu in Canada, and so I have never really known how popular Hulu is in the States, but I don't hear people talk about it on a regular basis like they do on any other streaming service. So, like, I always looked at it, I'm like, why would you pay $9 billion for this property that is essentially a USA exclusive content?
It's very interesting. Essentially, Hulu at a time, it has definitely shifted. It used to be the streaming platform or platform you go to watch next day TV content that aired, say, on ABC, NBC, whatever. It was the thing you go to and watch new content every day. It had other stuff, but your main thing is Fox, ABC, your major networks. They air an episode of a show on a Tuesday night. It's there Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So you go and watch ads or you pay. It has changed now because services have now come along and pulled that away. But it's still kind of a thing. But now it's just basically the home for older content and the TVMA R-rated content Disney acquired by Fox. So that's pretty much what it is. And with obviously international, Disney Plus has that star like additional thing where it's like their TVMA and R content behind a passcode. I feel like that's what they're going to do. They're going to integrate Hulu into Disney Plus, and that's going to be where the R-rated and TVMA content is going to be on this Hulu or whatever. They might change the name. I'm assuming they might not change it US since people know what Hulu is, but Hulu might be the designation, kind of like Star Wars, Marvel. Hulu will be their TVMA and R-rated content that they've made, what they've acquired or have made, because they are making R-rated content through FX, through Fox, but obviously they don't promote it as Disney, but they own it. So
yes.
Yeah, because they have some pretty dark shit on there that has come out past the buyout from Fox, but Disney's like, shh, it's FX.
Yeah.
But
they're like, we legally have to say you're a Disney company, but our logo is not going to be anywhere in your credits.
You're gonna have FX, and there's not going to be any sort of note of Mickey Mouse or Disney. No.
Yeah. The only word Disney you'll see is like when they're doing the scroll of text, they'll be like in the smallest font they could find, like a Disney company.
Magnifying glass, keep zooming in. Yeah.
Did you watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie? No, I did not. Did you?
It was very fun. I hate YouTube because, well, not YouTube, but was it Paramount?
You heard that, YouTube. He hates you.
Universal.
I did it twice.
It's a good movie, but I hate Universal because they blocked my video and they wouldn't let me re-upload it. So, but it was a really good movie. But I hate the fact that I wasted my time. So
I think the reactor thing becomes a problem because of it. You have this jaded idea of certain projects because you're like, oh, that company, you know.
Universal's really shit. That's the thing. They're really, really bad about copyright.
It's gonna have to come to the day where there is a person who's got the disposable income to just finally challenge one of these companies in court. That's all. The only way it'll ever change.
And the thing is, I don't think they would win though. I feel like the lawyers of the studio would win. I don't know.
I don't because there's enough proof that the law is on the side of a creator to a point. The problem is the studio knows nobody's got the money to fight them on it.
That's the thing. And also too is like here's also the bigger problem. A lot of reactors do a lot of different ways of editing to get their video up. So you have to stick with one singularized edit to fight in court. Because if you're going, well, we just cut clips out. Okay, well, that's whatever. We put the oval over it. We transparent the footage so it's see-through, so it's not really showing. We threw a copyright image, a copyright text over. It's like there's going to be like, it's going to get too complicated because there's so many reactors doing different methods of editing and how they film their videos. You would have to stick with one thing.
I think it actually would work for the reactors that there is so many versions, because they would be able to fight in court that the studios have forced them to try all these different methods, and each method has been still struck down in one way or another.
Yeah, and so the thing is that we would like to have a guideline. And
100%.
And some people have said they think a guideline that has worked for the most part is try to use footage under 6 seconds before you cut away from it. But even that's
tough.
Even that still isn't good because, you're really limited, and plus they still will ding you.
So, speaking of the reactor stuff, just a couple of days ago, there's this one channel I watch once in a while. I watch certain reactions he does for like comedy things and stuff like that. His name is Mr. L. Boyd. And he did a video a few weeks ago saying that he was going to be ending his channel because the way the algorithm works is they're no longer promoting his content as heavily, even though he's got like 300,000 subscribers or whatever it was. He just did a video literally like 4 or 5 days ago going, this channel is done as of today, not because of his previous thing, but because YouTube has now stripped away his partner program because they say, what was it they called it? Not original content or something like that?
Reused content?
Something along those lines. But they took away his partner program. So he's not making any money off the video, so why put it up?
That's a fair point. I know that the reactor Discord I'm a part of with a bunch of reactors were talking about this actually.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who all was it. I wasn't a part of it. I was just reading it. And someone had mentioned, I forget who it was. Someone had mentioned that they think it's because if you watch his content, he has the video up the whole entire time, even though he does pauses. Like I've never seen his videos, but apparently he has the video up the whole time. He pauses, but it's constantly there on screen throughout his whole video. Don't know if that's true. I'm just based on what I was reading.
But if it's paused, that should be irrelevant.
Yeah, it should be irrelevant. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, I think there might be something more going on here than just what that is being said, because there are so many reactors. Plus, when you go to dispute a video for claim purposes or blocks, there is a specific reasoning why you're doing this, and reaction video is on there. There's a lot of reactors making content. I think there's something more going on here that we're unaware of. Now, I'm not saying he did something bad. I'm saying I think there's something else going on than just that video that got him dinged in the first place. It could be something in the video that was against YouTube policy. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's always possible, but like...
Because that's what happened to Gore the Movie God. Because, see, he had videos up a long time ago because he's been on YouTube forever, like I have. Jesus, I'm tired. Mm-hmm. And he got dinged for old content now. So he may have gotten dinged for something he did a long time ago that was deleted. Because as we've discussed before, there has been reports of YouTube going after people's videos that have been deleted or privated.
Oh, yeah. The Rejects, Greg did a whole video about one that they got that not was just deleted, but deleted from the database.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like...
Yeah, so maybe there's content he made previously that he is now being dinged for that was deleted or privated on his channel, and he's now getting dinged, and he's just not telling the whole story. I'm not saying that's what happened.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. I mean, I'm inclined to believe him just because I know how shady YouTube's policies can be. Yeah. But you're right, that we don't know the whole story without him showing the letter on screen that he got, you know?
Yeah, and so... like if that starts happening as a widespread thing, then it would be seen as, obviously some people are like, oh, reactors are fucking fake people and who cares, because there's people that hate what we do. But there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna go, okay, so at any point they can just come after our content, like no matter what.
Well, they already can.
Well, I'm saying, but if they start if they start going after other channels that react and start just demonetizing and taking them down, then yeah, that's going to change the whole landscape of content creation, because there are a lot of reaction channels that are not like reacting, but they respond to other people's content. Like they do like, breakdown videos, and they show footage from other videos. If they start taking down any video that has other people's footage and shit, oh my God, it's going to be a shit show. But I don't think YouTube's going to do that. I think something specific happened here for this to occur, because this should be happening more often if it really is reused. I mean, that was the whole thing with Lance. Lance tried to go to do monetization for his channel, Geek Strum, and apparently there was like a lot of problems. He had 61 violations.
Oh my God.
And I think it was due to like music or something. So he wasn't able to be monetized until he removed all of the content that was dinging him. So I don't know, man.
Right. See, this is one of the things I've always like. I've had people once in a while that be like, "Oh, why don't you do reactions?" And like, because of the business I am in, autographs and taking set photos and all that stuff, the last thing I would want to do is get into a dispute over copyright over the reaction, or even posting. Like, very rarely will I even post stuff in these streams that's not my own content. Because I don't need Warner Brothers just one day being in a mood and going, "Oh, you use that photo of Grant Gustin that we saw that was our promo image." Like, they probably already don't necessarily like me because of what I do. So I don't need to give them an excuse to come at me, No,
you don't. No. That wouldn't be fair to you, and that would just be complete shit. But
that's why every time you see a thumbnail or anything of mine, I always use my own content, unless it is absolutely 101%. I don't have something to fill that spot. Like a photo of David Zaslav. I used a photo of David Zaslav I found on Google because I couldn't say I had one. But like 99.9% of the stuff I have that photo of my own, and I just use it. And I try to avoid even giving them an excuse to look at me, because they've already dinged some of my personal content. I have about 5 or 6 videos from Warner Brothers and NBC that I don't own the revenue from, because they've claimed it, and I'm just like, fine. You know what? This video wasn't going to make me any views anyways. You take it.
So here's something interesting going on. So Warner Brothers is like going after some old content of mine, because they actually hit me on November 7th. Harley Quinn season 4 trailer reaction that came out months ago. They hit me on the 7th. Don't know why. Okay. Then they hit me twice on Game of Thrones season 8, which was 2019. They hit me on that trailer.
Wow.
They hit me on another season 8 trailer. November 3rd. Oh, that was UMG. That's separate. Beatles again. But yeah, I've been waking up to emails from Warner Brothers claiming, the Batman punches Gordon clip. That was from last year. That got claimed on November 2nd after it being up for over a year. But okay, Warner Brothers.
Okay, so I want to ask you something, because I personally, I don't really ever pay attention until long after the fact when I get a claim against something, because it's so rare for me.
Yep.
When they claim a thing a year after the fact, they're claiming any revenue from that point forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're probably just like, sure, take the 0.3 cents it's going to make from here on out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is shit, because when especially if you're getting hit faster, like within a day or so, all that will add up, because like literally my revenue adds up over time with all my videos still getting views. But the more videos that get claimed, it's like less potential it all adding up to something.
Yeah.
So
I'm just thinking, in my mindset, I'm thinking that video between now and let's say 2025 is getting like another 108 views. Do I want to go through filling out the form and clicking all the buttons and doing this for the revenue I'm going to make off 108 views,
Yeah, it's not even any revenue at that point, anyways. I mean, it
Yeah,
really just depends on the
exactly.
video itself. Some videos take time to get views, but
Do you know what I have found is interesting? So I have, for a TV show that was filmed here called Psych, I have about 7 or 8 videos up from the series. 2 of them are claimed by NBC. They also are the only videos that have drawn a lot in views from that show because NBC, since they're getting the monetization from it, promote it, whatever.
mm,
The click-throughs I got on those, because, I put the thumbnails to other videos I have, has garnered me some, extra views from people that probably never knew my channel existed. So I'm okay with NBC and Warner Brothers taking a video here or there, like, long as it's not like, day one and like, whatever. Because in the end, yeah, they're making a few bucks off me, but they've also opened me up to new people that didn't know I existed,
exactly.
Now, if they come at me, hour one, the video is up, yeah, I'm fighting them. But if they come 10 days after the video's been up and 97% of the views it's ever going to get have been had, okay, go for it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
You know?
it all just depends on, what it is. I mean, I have certain videos that I really don't care, it's whatever. Like, what I've loved my Beatles reaction to the new song that got over 20,000 views to get monetized. Yeah, but there was no way to do it because it's UMG, it's music, it's the music video. There's no way. And they're a blocked music video in Russia. So I'm like, whatever. So there's no winning that. But it got me a lot of new subscribers, got me a lot of views, got people to check out the channel who previously would never have maybe discovered me.
I think that's part of the business of YouTube now is cost risk. You got to decide once in a while, like, I might lose the monetization on this, but will it get me new eyeballs,
Yeah, and the answer is yes. Like, it can most likely, if you're doing music reactions, especially like something that big, you're gonna get people to check out your stuff. And there's certain music reactors that actually have like relationships with the actual record company, so they get their videos
100%, yeah,
so they get their videos removed in terms of claims. They're fine, they get the monetization, but not everybody gets that.
All right, I'm gonna bring this one up, so I know you have more use of this than I will to explain.
Okay, so copyright strike means like they actually like take your video down, like they are like big, very strict on it. 3 copyrights. I'm assuming you mean like just like claims. Claims just means you can't monetize the content, and they're making any potential revenue. If you're not monetized, then it doesn't matter to you because they're making the money off your video. But if they're striking, that means 3 strikes, you're out. Your channel's gone. So with you saying you got 3 copyrights, it means you've been claimed, you're fine. But music is the biggest thing. Trailers are another thing too, but music is the biggest thing for claims.
Yeah. There's no like, I'll put it like this. YouTube went through the trouble of having their legal department work out an agreement with the whatever the music's version of AMPTP is. I can't remember what it's called now. On allowing music to be used in shorts so that they could come to an agreement on some monetization for shorts. They didn't do that for regular videos. If I put the Beatles song in my video right now, my video gets taken down. But if I do it in a short, I might not make any money off it, but it'll still be there.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
music is risky.
If I upload a short, like say, like, because I was uploading some shorts from like Ben 10 reactions, like I'd upload like a short on Monday, the previous day or the next day, and just have some sort of extended, like less cuts so people can see more footage. It'll say copyright footage found, but it doesn't affect monetization, even though monetization for shorts is shit. But it still will tell you it's found content, but it can't do anything. But see, Draven, who's a reactor, he was on council last week. He had said that he had uploaded a minute short, like right at that mark where it was like the longest you can make a short. That video got blocked, but then he cut it down to like 30 seconds and it was fine. So I'm like, I've never heard of a short getting blocked, but apparently it can happen. So,
wow.
I don't know.
Okay. So what was their whole thing about that short? Wow.
Well, I mean, I don't know what
YouTube is
exactly
just
I don't know what I don't remember what exactly he uploaded. He said it in the stream. I
yeah.
just don't remember what it was.
Okay.
No problem, stranger. Yeah, it's a stranger. I get it. It's really confusing because trust me, YouTube constantly. I mean, there's also now a thing called a community restriction or something because I got that on an old video from 2015.
Okay,
So,
explain that one to me because I don't know if I've heard that yet.
so actually, let me pull it up on my channel because like I forget the actual naming of it. So, it's a thing now that's going to be taken away in January if I don't get any other problems.
Oh god. So
It's
you're basically on
a channel violation.
channel violation. Okay.
I got warned on February 14th on Valentine's Day. I know. So your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. You've received a warning. You could take a policy training, which will remove the warning after 90 days. I did not get that training until October 28th. So months down the road. I completed
so this is a video from almost a year ago.
this is a video from 2015. But they hit me
whoa. Yeah, so the what I meant is the warning came in like in February.
Yeah,
right?
February 14th, and they removed the video. And then the training was not available for me to do. It just said you have an active community guideline strike, but it's a channel violation. But the training didn't come until October 28th. I completed it, and it will expire on January 26th.
What?
So, okay. Also, this is too. If this happens again, if you violate this policy again within 90 days of completing the policy training, so within my waiting the 90 days from now till January 26th, I'll get a strike if I violate the policy again. And it says I won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. So I have to be.
But yet the 30 days from the time it was originally struck long since passed.
Yeah, so basically,
90 days. 90 days. I mean,
I have to be a good boy until January 26th.
And then in January 27th, the worst videos are coming out. Everybody.
Well, it's just funny because like that video was just one of those like, try not to laugh or bullshit videos that, just had, and it was like one of those really bad quality ones. So
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I've seen a few people who once in a while, like, especially on the game I play, YouTube's still kind of a new experience for a lot of people there. People are like, oh, should I upload YouTube stuff? I'm like, like, that depends what your goal is. Like, if your goal is just to show your best games, yeah, sure, no problem. If your goal is to start doing cool stuff with, like, layovers and music from, like, different artists and all that, I'm like, your channel's going to last 4 months. Like,
you're not going to last very long.
Yeah, like, they don't, because they're all from Twitch, right? Whereas Twitch just blanks some music out for you.
Yeah.
They kind of, I remember in one of the Discord channels, someone had got their YouTube channel taken down after one video that they did, and it had been on for 4 days.
Jesus.
And of course, it had music in the background, like loud and all that, and there was no talking over the top of it. And sure enough, it got a copyright strike against it from like one music company and then another music company and then another music company, and they're done all on the same video. Because, that they don't know better, because Twitch, that's not a problem. Twitch just takes the music down afterwards. But hey, Cal, how you doing? Welcome.
I didn't get enough sleep.
Really?
I stayed up way too late last night, obviously. So, oh well.
No, I don't understand, because it was only 10 p.m. here.
Oh, lucky you. Yeah, those streams go on for way too fucking long, but whatever.
Honestly, yeah, they do.
They do.
But I mean, it is what it is.
It's fun.
I do think like, I think there's a cap of how many people you can juggle at once and still have everyone's ideas get heard. I think 9 is too many. But outside of telling people, like, okay, you get this 45 minutes, you get this 45 minutes. I don't know how you do it otherwise, right? Like,
there's no real, like, there's no blueprint. That's the thing. No one's ever done this before.
Right.
Well, okay, let me amend that. Not a problem, but Andy was not planned to show up last night, so he's showing up. That adds another person. But he surprised me, like, oh, that was cool, but wasn't expecting.
Did you ever find out who it was that didn't get to come in?
No, I still don't know. Still don't know.
I hope they never tell you, just so this will be something you never know.
I hope so. And obviously, Gore's been on the past number of streams, every stream, even though he's never planned to. He just is there. And you weren't planned either. But
right,
bring you in, come hang out. So yeah, we were maxed out.
Yeah, 2 hours later,
we were it was like the thing was like, you know, the maxed out at 10, where it's 2 rows of 4 and the 2. It's too much. It's too much.
Oh, 100% it is.
It is, but at the same time, it's all learning process. And
do you know what you know what StreamYards needs in that case? They need a waiting room where you can just bounce people in and out.
Yeah, well, also, like, I think
like everybody can technically be in there, but then you just like have buttons there, and you're like, you know what? Gore knows something about this project. Bring him in. Take Canada Graphs out. You know, like that easy.
Well, that's the thing.
It should be that easy.
I don't want to be like, and that's a good idea, but I don't want to be that person, because like the only other way you could really do it properly is to have people who are scheduled from this time to this time, and they have to go, regardless if they want to continue, because we have topics we didn't get to or something we may, because I don't want to kick people out. That's not fair. But I also need transparency, because I was told that this person and this person are going to leave early, and they stay on the whole entire stream, and that means it's 2 other people that were supposed to leave early. But I addressed this in that stream. I said, like, this guy said he was going to leave. He's still here. He said he had to be at work at 4 a.m. He's still here. He said he was going to be here for like the first bit, and he had to go because he had to go to bed. Draven, I like Draven. It was cool having him on. He's a great guy to talk to. I remember him mentioning that he needs sleep because he has to go to work in the morning, and he stayed the whole entire stream. And but I don't want to kick them out. That's not fair. But I think I need to be. It's like where, because I tell. I
think part of it is on StreamYards having a system where you can't rotate in and out efficiently too, though.
Yeah, and also too, I've already been messaging people today about next week, and I'm trying to make it to where it's a different people, because I think at a certain point, once you have the same people coming on all the damn time, you got to switch it up. Thank you, stranger. Appreciate it. But I want to switch it up, so I'm trying to get new people on.
Yeah.
And one of them, if I can get him on, because I've been trying to get him on forever, and he's.
Is it who you were saying yesterday that you're like, I hope it wasn't him sitting in the waiting room?
No, this is Alex.
Oh, okay.
Alex from Electric Brit Smash from that back in the day. I don't even remember Alex. He was one of my groomsmen for my wedding, but it seems like he's like, I want to try to come on, like, please. I remember
you said you were gonna have like Brit Smash and like Katie on one weekend, and Brit Smash, I've never seen her show up still.
No, she liked the tweet I sent out today. Not congratulating, shouting on everybody who came on last night. So, and I messaged her, I'm like, we got to get you on. Now, obviously, I don't want to bring her on when Alex is on. That I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's fine.
No, but I'm sure they can be sociable. To just, why would you do that to either of them, right?
Yeah, I'd rather not. But it's all a learning curve to me. And the thing is, I'd like the spontaneity as well in terms of confirm people, and then if I have room, bring people in that were not planned. And if they have availability, like you and Gore, like Gore is obviously in the chat, but you coming in. I didn't know if Eric was available. The one stream I did on a Tuesday when I had to leave out on that Wednesday to go to Indiana. He showed up way late, but I just sent him the link, just say, hey, if you want to show up, and he did. And I like the fact that I don't know who's going to show up when I send the link out, besides my confirmed people. But it's still a learning process. But yes, too many people last night at a point. Yes, but it was still fun.
I mean, on one hand, it's good to know people want to be there. On the other hand, sometimes too many people.
Yeah, but I think it was still fun. Thing is, it was chaos, but not to the point where it was because it's not to the point where you can't understand what's happening. It's like okay, we're all trying to figure this out, but we're all
Like I said, I think I even said it in the stream last night. I can't remember if it was after or during the stream. There was a point there, like last night, where obviously Nathan and Katie are just sitting there in the corner because the other 70 of you are talking about a topic and they're just like, I have nothing to add to this. That's going to happen with everybody at some point. It happens to me a lot of times when I'm in there, and I think it's just one of those things where that again, if they had that button that they could just press up this person that doesn't have an input on the topic, or that person themselves could even just press themselves out of the lobby. Like, it would make things so much easier. I wish StreamYard could implement this.
Well, it's also different people's personalities too. Because see, last week that was the issue with Katie. She came in, but she didn't talk for the majority of the stream, and I felt horrible. So I told her, if you want to come back after we were off live, I said, if you want to come back, we will specifically address the Spider-Man movies you've been watching so we can at least have you be a part of it, because I don't want you to come in and just sit here and not talk. So that was good. So we did that, and she sat back for a good portion, but we did have a good conversation with her about the Spider-Man, and that got everyone else talking. So it was good to incorporate her. I felt bad for Nathan, but he's a quieter guy. He doesn't have a good mic, but it was cool to have him on. But I think I'm learning that Nathan would be good in a smaller setting with less people. Like that'd be better for him,
and probably with a more centralized list of topics that he's going to have input on.
Yeah, because
there's 5 or 6 of those guys in there that I think they have input on everything. You could bring up any topic and they're like, I know that show, I know that movie, I know that thing, and they're going to talk about everything. And then there's other people. I mean, myself being one of those, half that stuff I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I think there's certain people. Nathan's probably in that list where he knows 5 or 6 things, and then 5 or 6 things he doesn't know, and then there's Katie, she's doing the Spider-Man movies right now. Outside of that and a couple of the Arrowverse shows, I don't know what else she knows. I mean, obviously she's got other inputs, but I don't know what they are.
Hockey with you for a minute, you guys were about hockey, so and that's the thing too. I think ultimately it's getting counsel to where having people interact that maybe never would have. To where they're actually, because see, Gore the Movie God went on Lance's stream this week. That would have never probably happened if it wasn't for counsel, because I don't think they knew each other.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I've been told several times by some different people, a part of counsel, that this is really awesome you're doing this, because it's never been done before. So I'm still figuring it out as I go.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
and I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not I still think it's more good than negative. I mean, I'm obviously pointing out, the flaws in it, but that is just my personality. I'm rarely the person that's these are the things that are great about something. I usually the things here's what could be improved, and if I were looking at it, I'd still give it a passing grade. But there is, things that some of it's out of your control. You can't manage 11 people on screen because StreamYard won't allow you, but StreamYard also won't allow you to just pop people in and out efficiently. So some of those things are on other people's shoulders. But yeah.
And I personally like having a lot of people hanging out and chatting, because the majority of them can find a groove, and I'm obviously with new people coming in that have never been on, trying to find what works for them. So then I can figure, okay, so they're really working off this person. That means I'm going to try to get them both on again, so that there's that back and forth, so they can, because I mean, Gore can work with anybody. Omni can talk with pretty much anybody. I didn't know this, but I didn't really know them, but I brought on Behind the Colonel and Johnny Bravo together for the first time weeks ago, and they work great together along with everybody else. They're really good going back and forth. But you don't know until you try. You don't know. So I don't know. So bringing Nathan in, that was a gamble. I didn't know how it was going to go. I felt bad, but he seemed to have overall, he was just hanging out, chilling. But I've learned, okay, if I bring Nathan in, I want to bring him in when it's not as many people, and all that. I hope he, and mostly everybody is fine with a lot of people. It's just finding your footing. And a stranger has pointed out in the chat.
Yeah.
About something. Well, okay, yeah, well, okay. So
I didn't even see that stream, but I heard you mentioning it, and I'm just like, oof.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but as a non-drinker who observes people that drink all the time, all you do is encourage me to keep not drinking. And I mean, I respect the fact that he realizes he probably screwed up because he's reached out to several people and like apologized for whatever happened. But yeah, it's just I don't know who would get on stream knowing that, like, I'll see that sometimes on Twitch. There'll be people that, especially if they're doing like a 24-hour marathon stream, like hour 6, they'll start drinking. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You have no idea. Your brain's going to turn to mush in an hour. But yeah. Yeah. So, what else do you have to talk about?
Metallica tomorrow. That's all I got. Metallica.
Yeah.
Metallica.
You're gonna go watch Jimmy and the Boys.
Jimmy and the Boys.
Yeah.
Whoever Jimmy is.
That James guy.
James. Yeah, James. Yeah. I'm hoping that the seats aren't that bad. I think the seats are pretty good. So.
Is it still the same? Like all the same members?
Since 2003, yes, Robert.
Yeah. Okay. I just so many of those older bands, they switch out guys now so often. I never know who has and hasn't. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah. They're still the same since
okay.
That, so yeah, it'll be good. Seeing them.
Welcome back, Sabaros. I still don't know if I've ever got your name right yet.
Sabaros. Oh, don't know. Sabaros.
But yeah, I've met that band a couple of times.
Lucky. Yeah, you show me the photos.
Have I? Yes, of course.
Yeah,
of course I have.
You did. Yeah.
Somewhere buried either in my house or my storage locker, I have a random ass paper magazine from like remember back in the 90s, they were really common. You'd get like free magazines you'd pick up. Like they look like newspapers with listings of things going on in your town. And I was just out one day with a couple of the Autograph Hounds. Wasn't even planning to go for Metallica, but they suddenly were. I'm like, I've got nothing for them. Someone rummaged around in their trunk and got literally a newspaper, like one of those free newspapers that had Metallica on the front paper. They're like, here you go. And I got that signed by like 3 of the guys. And I'm just like, it's literally just sat collecting dust because it's not complete. And I'm like, it's a newspaper. I know I could sell it, but it's just who the hell actually cares, One of these days I gotta dig that out.
Yeah, I have some sort of thing signed by all 4 of them that was like certified and everything. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've gotten a few of the complete ones by them back in the day, but James isn't the most gracious with signing, and because of that,
not anymore. He's
because of that, it makes it a little difficult to finish a cast band item.
Yeah, like he's like very stingy now, which I get it. He doesn't have to sign it because he knows it's just going to be resold by a lot of people.
Sure,
so I get it. It's like Dave Grohl stopped signing stuff too. Like
that's a shocker to me because he was one of the best signers I've met.
Yeah, and now it's just it has to be for charity. That's it. He doesn't because he knows it's going to be sold immediately on eBay. So he's like, no, I'm good. I respect that.
What if Mark Guggenheim directs a DCU film? There is a better chance of Chainsaw becoming Wonder Woman than that.
I already am, though.
Are you allowed to say that?
Well, I mean, the strike's over.
Yeah, but the NDA, man.
James said it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening in Sabrous. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. My wife's probably like, he's been on for too damn long.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's about time to wrap up anyways, because we have probably covered everything there was to cover today. If I haven't covered everything, I can probably cover it another day. Now that there's no strike, there's probably going to be stuff to talk about once in a while again.
Yeah,
There'll be announcements coming up. Yeah, there's actually going to be things that will be needing to have an input on.
Yeah, it won't be all about what's going to happen with the strikes. More about what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a better chance that Justin Bieber will play Robin. There's a better chance that Justin Bieber would become the president of the United States, and he's not American.
Wow.
All right, guys, 2-minute warning. If you have any last questions, jump in now. If you don't jump in now with that question, then Cecile is going to come and talk to you.
Cecile. Why does it got to be?
Oh, you know what I didn't do the whole time I've been on? I was going to show some of the things I got from the sale.
Oops.
Real quick in chat, if anyone wants to see some of the things in the sale, make your input known in the next 90 seconds. How would you react if Simu Liu was in DCU? Disappointed.
Hey, we gotta see Shang-Chi too.
Hey, Shang-Chi I like Shang-Chi as a movie, but I've met the guy now, and I'm just like, I kind of wish I didn't buy a ticket.
Is he an ass?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's one of those fake asses too. He's one of the ones that pretends like, oh, I really wish I could, but I can't. And in back of your head, you're like, you 100% could. You're choosing not to. Like he did a book reading here for a book he came out with. And he came in through the back alley like a lot of entertainers would. And there was 4 or 5 of us in the alley. He did do photos with. Like he did photos with. But when it came to signing autographs, he signed 1 autograph and 1 autograph only. And that was on the book. And the rest of us that were standing with items is like, oh, I really wish I could, but I can't. I'm just here for the book. And we're just like, in my head, I'm like, you physically can. You're standing a foot from me, and you're not going to be on stage for another hour. Like, you signed an item, so you're capable of signing. You're just choosing what to sign, and you're trying to pass it off as it's out of your hands when it's not. Like, I hate those type of fake nice, ones. And all of my Toronto buddies tell me the same thing. They're just like, asshole. Like, they've all got him at some point, but the amount of times they've seen the guy compared to how many times they got the guy,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right. All we have had since then is Simu Liu fake Ken. I don't know what that's in reference to.
No. Oh, he was in Barbie, I think, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie, but apparently, yeah, he's in it, so.
I see. That's a choice. All right, guys. I think we are done here. Thank you to what's your name again?
Andy.
It's funny you say that because that's what I was gonna call you. Sorry, guys. Thank you to Grace Randolph here for gracing us with the time to be here. She is busy right now, probably coming up with a scoop that no one's ever heard of, including the people involved. But that's okay. She made time to be here. Thank you again, Grace. Always a pleasure having you on.
You're so
Andy
welcome.
Randolph. Ooh, that's painful.
You're so welcome.
All right, guys.
Chastain's the worst.
With that, let's call it a day. And I am sure I will be back streaming more frequently than every 5 weeks now. So I will see you all in the future.
Guys, be scared.
Bye.